This video is brought to you by EchoPluxMedia.com. There was once a New World Order war, but there was one man who taught us to fight, to read his books, and to listen to Alex Jones for every waking hour.
His name is Connor. John Connor.
No, that was just a pseudonym he used. We're talking about Mark Dice. If you've heard of Mark Dice, you probably know him as that guy from Facebook or YouTube that does his videos kinda like this. I'm just here commenting on the news of the world. Liberals are so stupid. President Trump isn't doing anything wrong. They're just stalling his Make America Great agenda. If this was a dictatorship, this would be a hell of a lot easier for him. So as long as he's a dictator.
It's a miracle! After almost a year and a half, CNN appears to have been cured from Trump derangement syndrome. When I turned on the TV last night, this is what I saw.
So in short, he's a right-wing populist. But we're going to go into the past. More specifically, we're going into Mark Dice's former conspiratorial past, and much of which his current followers may not know about. So let's get digging. Mark Dice got his internet fame in the 9/11 Truth Movement and became a frequent guest on the Alex Jones Show, publishing a number of conspiracy theories. His main focus throughout his career in conspiracy theories has been on the Illuminati. The Illuminati was a secret society that was organized against the kings and churches, believing they were enlightened ones. They are believed to be long disbanded centuries ago. Or were they? Dice has suggested they still exist today, and have had a role in every other seemingly unrelated conspiracy theory you can think of. He claims the Illuminati controls the government, the corporations, the banking system, and the entertainment industry. Also, the anti-Semitic hoax book, The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, is real, but it's the plan of the Illuminati and not the Jews in his view. It's the same position that William Cooper takes on the Protocols book. His old website, markdice.com, features his media appearances, tax returns of the secret societies, and even a list of phone calls he's made to talk radio shows. He's called nearly every popular talk show host, sometimes using the name John Connor, warning them about the Bohemian Grove, Bilderberg, 9/11 being an inside job, and the Illuminati. He even got a death fatwa from radio talk show host Michael Reagan. His call to murder Dice was in response to a 2008 campaign by Dice, sending letters to the U.S. troops in Iraq, telling them the 9/11 terrorist attacks were orchestrated by the U.S. government, and they are just pawns of those murders.
Excuse me, folks, I'm going to say this. We ought to find the people who are doing this, take them out, and shoot them. Really. Just find the people who are sending those letters to our troops to demoralize our troops and do what they're doing. You take them out. They are traitors to this country, and shoot them. You have a problem with that? Deal with it. But anybody who would do that doesn't deserve to live. You shoot them. You call them traitors, that's what they are, and you shoot them dead. I'll pay for the bullet. How about you take Mark Dice out and put him in the middle of the firing range? Tie him to a bow, don't blindfold him, let it rip and have some fun with Mark Dice. These people are just, folks, I'm telling you, outrageous.
Dice even came on Michael Reagan's show to discuss the death threat and his campaign to the troops.
So on the hotline I have Mark Dice. Mark, welcome to the show.
Let's make it clear, first of all, that you didn't say if somebody shoots me that you would pay for the bullets. You suggested that people find me and others and shoot us without a trial, and then that you would pay for the bullets. And you have a history, Michael, of making these violent statements. You've called for blowing up Muslim babies with grenades. You've called for the hanging of Howard Dean.
All right. I mean, okay, you and I talked about it the other day, and we can go back and forth about threats to my staff all over the country from your people calling and emailing.
Oh no,
but Mark, I want to get to the issue. Okay, I've apologized. That's all I can do. I can't do any more.
A lot of times the calls into the radio shows were meant to promote his book, The Resistance Manifesto. The book is a How to Fight the New World Order guidebook, listing several other conspiracy theories you must believe in. It's mostly a collage of different conspiracy theories, all in one book. The Bible is quoted several times as a source for claims he says fulfill religious prophecies, like the Antichrist. Satanism is real and not imaginary in his view. Yes, Mark Dice is a purveyor of the satanic panic. Almost all his videos that he's made regarding 9/11 conspiracy theories have been deleted. But there's no delete button on the internet, and a lot of them are easy to find if you look. One notable one is a bunch of girls in bikinis on a California beach saying, well, this.
9/11 was an inside job!
Ow, my ears. Do continue, though.
Did you know that over 36% of Americans believe 9/11 was an inside job?
Did you know that over 1/4 of Americans believe the sun revolves around the earth? I mean, have you checked out other polls about what Americans believe?
Are you saying that 1/4 of Americans are retards? Yes, I'm saying 1/4 of Americans are retards. Yeah, at least 1/4. Let's take a test sample. There's 4 of us. You're a retard. That's 1/4.
Our government did it.
9/11 was an inside job.
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 I wonder what's happening behind the scenes. Like, do these ladies know exactly what they're participating in? I don't know.
Doesn't it disgust you that the government planned attacks against its own people in Operation Northwoods?
How could you dirtbags attack our own country?
Look up Operation Northwoods in the National Archive.
Well, that seems to answer my question. I guess I do understand what they're saying, and they seem pretty nonplussed about it. Yeah, the government's mass murdering people, but I'm just going to enjoy my time at the beach.
How could our government ignore all those warnings? Why did NORAD stand down? Why did Flight 77 hit the Pentagon?
Everybody knows 9/11 was an inside job.
Why did the towers look like they were brought down by explosives?
And do you know where the anthrax that was sent through the mail came from? Our own government.
Not going to argue with her there. The anthrax attacks were, in fact, by someone in the government who went psycho.
We love Mark Dice.
We love Mark Dice. MarkDice.com.
And there's also this video that's mysteriously disappeared from his YouTube page of him mourning the suicide of early 9/11 truther Michael Rupert.
I'm sorry to bring you the news that Michael Rupert, an early 9/11 truther and former LAPD narcotics detective who helped expose the CIA's involvement in massive drug trafficking, has died at the age of 63 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, this is not a conspiracy. This is not a murder made to look like a suicide. This is a tragic case of a man who looked too far into the abyss for too long and simply lost hope.
Now, if you go online, there's not really a movement claiming this guy died by foul play, mainly because he said he would kill himself.
And he was just on fire, man, because when you first kind of come down that rabbit hole and your whole paradigm shifts and you start realizing, we're literally being ruled by a satanic cult, a satanic secret society that's paving the path for the arrival of the Antichrist. When you really understand that and see how close America is to a financial collapse or to just a World War III scenario, to our freedoms being destroyed, it can be very disturbing.
This is always my word of advice. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
So this is a very tragic case of what can happen when somebody just spends a little bit too much time staring into the abyss. Something like this can happen. So a very tragic case. So just a warning to some people who may be potentially going down that path.
Not much to criticize here. I mean, that's pretty good advice right there. All right. Now for the big one. We've saved the best for last. This must be the most compromising video footage of Mark Dice on the internet. What you're about to see are some of his 9/11 truther videos that were featured in the conspiracy documentary The 9/11 Chronicles Part 1, Truth Rising.
May I have everybody's attention, please? I've come with a message of information. 9/11 was an inside job. And now it looks like the police are here. I think we have something called the First Amendment. It's called the freedom of speech, apparently, which Newt Gingrich is trying to fight.
There are also probably laws for climbing on statues. I mean, get off that thing, man. What are you doing?
Oh my God, 9/11 was an inside job. Did you guys realize this? 9/11's an inside job. Our own government carried out the attacks. This is crazy. I'm sorry I'm late, Professor. I've done my homework and I figured it out. 911 equals an inside job. How many 9/11 truth people do we have in here?
It's really ironic that a guy who thinks millennials are the dumbest generation is making that his target audience. And where's the security for those who yell in libraries and interrupt college lectures? I wonder how this was appropriately dealt with.
It's their own population, it's their own property.
That's how you do it.
And he also cornered random celebrities like Danny Bonaducci when he was eating his lunch.
Have you heard that 9/11 was, at the bare minimum, let to happen on purpose?
I've heard rumors from ridiculous conspiracy theory people, yes.
This doesn't seem like the Mark Dice currently put out there, and he's not exactly the Make America Great Again super patriot many Trump supporters would find appealing. I mean, if you spent half your career with no apology saying America staged a terrorist attack, killed thousands of its own people on purpose, and is engaging in wars based on those lies, that might not even fly with Trump himself. But who knows, Trump has a hard time telling his supporters when they are wrong.
And I just want to finish by saying your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope. And I think we'll be speaking a lot, but you'll be looking at me in a year or 2 years. Let's give me a little bit of a time to run things. But a year into office, you'll be saying, wow, I remember that interview. He said he was going to do it, and he did a great job. You'll be very proud of our country.
So what happened to Mark Dice? He went to the business opportunity and became a snake oil salesman like Alex Jones did with supporting Donald Trump for president. Bashing liberals, SJWs, political correctness, and pseudo-patriotism sells well. And so do scam campaign promises. That seems to outweigh core principles that Mark Dice and Alex Jones seemed to maintain until Trump was running for president. They're against elitism and oligarchy, except when it's Trump. They're against Bilderberg associations, except when Trump has them. They're for government transparency and the financial records of secret societies and individuals, except when Trump refuses to release them, unlike every other president. It's not exactly clear what Mark Dice and his position is today regarding 9/11. He's not, as of this writing, put out a clarifying statement if he's changed his views. But there are some context clues as to what is likely the case, which are the following. His old website of markdice.com is gone, and is now just a store for selling t-shirts and hats with printing making fun of liberals. All his 9/11 conspiracy videos are gone from his YouTube channel. He keeps deleting my comments when I ask him what happened to his old website, markdice.com. And he doesn't push 9/11 conspiracy theories anymore. However, there is a case to be made that he's trying to have it both ways. He still promotes some of his old work, including the Resistance Manifesto, but does it in very narrow ways. This includes listing other books he's written at the end of one of his newer books, The True Story of Fake News. In conclusion, I'd like to end this by saying, Mark Dice, if you're listening, I'd like to ask you, are you an ex-conspiracy theorist? If so, or if not, I'd love to hear a clarifying statement from you. But until then, you've given me a lot to have fun with. Take care.